You are asking, how do I train my fear? Before going into techniques, let me tell you a short story. Two little frogs were happily playing outside when they suddenly landed inside somebody's kitchen. So on the windowsill of that kitchen, there were two bowls of cream, half full of cream, and each little frog landed inside of one, right? So immediately they started jumping out to try to come out. They tried and tried and tried, but each time they would fall back again inside the bowl of cream. So tired of trying and seeing that there was no result, they decided they had to do something else. One of them thought, okay, it's no point for me getting tired. I'm just going to lie still and wait. I'm sure something will happen. Someone will come and rescue me. The other little frog had so much fear, he couldn't sit still. There was no way that he could manage to sit still with that amount of fear. So he decided, okay, I have to do something. There isn't much you can do in a bowl of cream. So the decision wasn't very hard. So he started moving, and then he suddenly found that he was paddling. Okay, so he paddled and paddled and paddled in the bowl of cream, hoping that he was going to maybe move around while controlling his fear, distract himself, and find a way to come out. But with all that paddling, all of a sudden, he felt that he was sitting on something hard. Wow, that was amazing. That was what he wanted. He had almost given up because he was tired. He was disappointed because he couldn't see where his paddling was taking him. And suddenly, he found himself sitting on a firm and solid surface. So that was what he wanted, to be able to give a big jump, and he did, and he came out of the bowl. He looked around and saw that his friend was almost covered with cream. So he went to look for help to come and rescue him. But when everybody came back, the bowls of cream had disappeared, and so had the little frog. They were, of course, disappointed, and they just hoped that, to comfort themselves, they hoped that maybe he had been adopted in the family as a pet. But the little frog who managed to escape that tragedy, it appears that every time he found himself in a situation that he was fearful, he took some action. He didn't always know where the action was taking him, but he found he had to do something. Whatever action that was, as far as it was something positive, something that made him feel better, happier, okay, better inside himself, happy and more peaceful, to be able to control his fear. So he took some actions, and that's how he did for the rest of his life. I was once given that story to ponder, and I asked myself many questions about it. What would have happened if that little frog had stopped paddling when he realized that paddling was not taking him anywhere, he was on the same spot? What would have happened? It's obvious, isn't it? But there are many other questions you can ask yourself about that story. And by asking yourself questions, you will be able to see, how you will be able to train your fear. And once you will see how you will be able to train your fear, you will be able to also decide of the actions that you will be able to take, actions whichever they are. Okay, so this is the way that by pondering this story, you will be able to come up with your own plan, with your techniques, your own methods to train your fear. As I was growing up, I was always told, whenever I felt fearful for something, control your fear, right? But this is not taught at school, and no one never told me how to control my fear. Right? So there wasn't really a way for me to come up to say, okay, I'm going to control my fear, except maybe thinking, okay, I mustn't panic. I just have to, to get stiff and still and stop breathing, maybe, to control my fear. But it never worked. When I really researched, I came up with a way to control my fear, to train my fear. Because training exists as a tool to enhance performance. Right? So by training your fear, you are able to show your fear how to trigger other reactions than just to make you feel paralyzed with fear or terrified. Okay? Because the most common reaction when somebody feels fearful is to be terrified, or even if it, depending on the level of fear, to feel paralyzed with fear, right? But by training your fear, you're going to show your fear that it's not necessary to go down that route anymore. You can do something else. You can do something positive, something amazing, something to help you in your life journey, because you want to go to the certain destination in your life, and you don't want fear to be there stopping you getting there. You don't want fear to get in the way. So you want to train your fear so the fear can let you be yourself and do what you want to do to get to your life journey, to a successful destination. Okay, so next time I'm going to talk about what happens when fear becomes a family tradition or even a nation tradition, for example. Okay, so I see you next time. In the meantime, I wish you a good, happy, and successful life journey while you are training your fear.